All right, so today, or for the next couple days, for you it's just a day, I'm going to start redoing the upholstery on the front seats for the 73 Mustang Project Sports Roof. Now if you look, this is not bad. It's I can't tell the color. It might be gray, it's a suede, it's a micro suede type thing, and this doesn't seem to be in too bad a shape. But the driver's side is in really bad shape. So you can see there's some tears up there. But I don't know when this was done. I think from doing the last part of it, we determined it was in fact a kit of some kind, if not original. Although the original doesn't show, the original says the seats were in here were black, and that is black, I guess. But those look green or brown or maybe really badly faded black, but I don't think they're original. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and take the seats apart and photograph them really well to make sure they go together. I did my 70s Mustang. I did all their seats with these TMI kits, and I'll show you those in a while. You've seen them on other videos. But these are a bit different. These actually have, well, no longer had the seat sensors for seatbelt sensors, so I'll have to look at that, but you can see they're still in there. The sensor's still in there. And I'll put them back. I actually already, when I did the floors, I already put the wires in the floor, so there's a hole there where this will plug in. And I don't know if I'll do it for these again. They're kind of annoying. I like having them in there, but I don't like having the seatbelt notice. You can see these are this one is in pretty good shape. I know the driver's side is not, but these are in pretty good shape. A little bit of rust here and there. I'll shoot that with some black enamel, sand it down for a bit. But you can see it's all here in place. I'm not sure that spring is right. I have to look that up, but we'll take a look at how everything's set up on here. Main thing is making sure you know how these go back on, so you can get them back in the right spot. And we're just going to go from there. All right, as we go through this, I'm looking at some things that are different than the last time I've done this, and that's these plastic clips that are actually sewn into the upholstery. I don't have those on the new one, so we'll figure out how that's going to happen. But I think that just replaces the need to do the hognose pliers on there. But we're going to go ahead and pull this all apart. But first, I have to remove these, and it looks like there's a couple of bolts on here. The way you do to take those off, there's one there, one on the bottom. So we'll remove those. I've already captured the springs and their locations. I got the springs and locations captured. And I'll see, should be able to make those all out. A little bit of grease on these, on the slides, after I shoot them with a little bit of paint. So we'll pull those off first. They look to be 7/16, and they are. So one of the interesting things I see here that doesn't seem normal is that the upholstery is over the end. Normally it's behind. So I'm going to make sure I tuck that back, unless it just came untucked somehow. But that's kind of weird. It looks like, it almost looks like they did it with the springs on, but that's not possible. I get the little bag where I keep everything, all the parts. I'll leave the springs in place, but I also have a shot of them, so in case I have to, you know, forget where they go, because it happens when you get older. That's in there. I'm gonna bet that's it's not coming out smoothly. And that head's been beat up on that for a while. I'm gonna hit that with a little WD-40 or not. Or I will. Give it a second or two and let it sit. So somebody definitely stripped this at some point. I think I got it. That's going to be a lot of fun. Soak for a little bit more. I'm pretty sure that doesn't go there. It probably goes up here. That has no value. We'll figure that out. So it does, it's pretty rusted. I don't think I can. I don't know if that nut is separate. This one nut is built in. That one seems similar. That. So we're going to hit this one with the same. And take the bottom one. Where do the little straws go for these? I don't know. They just seem to disappear. There we go. Find a rag. if I remember correctly, my 70 was a lot worse. It had star bolts on them, and those were challenging. Except my 70 was in a lot better shape than this thing is. Let's see if this will break loose real quick. So it's cracked me in the head. Picture of my other phone, so I know where the spring goes on that one. Quick little video. Let's see where the spring goes. Spring, top, bottom. I'll show you guys here in a sec. So you just want to capture, you can see the spring goes kind of in here and then up to there, the lever. So I'm just keeping a check on that. And all it is just a return spring for this. It doesn't do anything because once you pull this, you release the seat so it can slide. And this bottom one seems to be coming off way better than the. Still pretty tight though. Alright, so what I decided to do is I'm going to take a Dremel and a cutting wheel, and I'm going to see if I can put a crease in the bolt deep enough so I can get another screwdriver on there to pull that off. I don't want to cut it off yet, but cool. So the goal there was to put a slit in it big enough. A slit in it big enough so I can get a screwdriver in there and see if I can pull it off. So we'll see if that worked or not. I did it kind of big, so I'll need a flat screwdriver or a wide one. Let's see if that was going to make a difference. Didn't seem to. So now what I'll do is I'll get a piece that goes onto the socket with the right size. Otherwise I'll cut it off and have to drill it out, which is doable but not fun. So I ended up with one of the single bits. If not, I'll put another cut across and do a Phillips, and then 1/4 inch. You can see that because of the sun. 1/4 inch about fits tight. And we'll see if I can do anything with that. Nope. All right, so I'll try to do a Phillips, and then if I can't do a Phillips, then we'll have to cut it off. What I wanted to do. Part of it gave away. Alright, so we got to cut it off. We'll get to that. Off. Now I got to worry about getting the bolt out. But they got another tool I can use for that. But don't worry about that right now. We'll save that for another time. So I've got the bottom piece apart, both tracks. I'm going to set them aside. The bolts will hold them on. I'm going to keep them together. Because, you know, I lose stuff. Alright, so the next step is I need to separate the bottom from the top. And then we have these, which are pricey, so don't break these. And when you get them, they are different colors, so you got to end up painting them. Try to capture the original number on there. Here we go, and that's just for me. And then I can put these in a separate plastic bag. Keep the screw with it, although I do have the complete set for all the internal screws. And you can see that hole, that goes into here, and this is where we're going to separate the two pieces of the seat together. First I'll spin it around. Take out the other one. It's got a little bit of chip out of it, but still in good shape. Now there's when we get to that part, there's some plastic and vinyl paint that you can put on here to touch those back up. You see there was an original color, so these might have been replaced at some time. Those, put those away. All right, and that requires a star unit. Whole box full. Nowadays you can't survive without these. You can't work on that, even the older cars. Just gotta have one the right size. Too small. Really big one. It's just a regular Phillips, might work. Not gonna work. That'll probably work. So I'll do the same thing. I'll use a 1/4-inch socket. These all seem to fit in there like that. And we should be able to break that pretty easily. All these have built-in, well, oops, have welded-on bolts on the other side. So when I'm done, I'll treat those all with a little bit of anti-seize. That's what that looks like. And I'll throw them in here with the plastic pieces. That side had a washer. No, the other side did too, I just missed it. Washers. Now they're actually on the outside holding the, that's interesting. I like it. Helps hold the seat tight. You can use that. So the washers are in. And they should come right apart. No, other than you've got to release the lever. Straighten out the bottom. And you've got the top. So we're going to go ahead and strip these down. I'll leave the camera running while we're doing that. Some more hardware on the top you got to worry about. These and the nut screws that hold the back in. This is the plastic back. And you can still get these. These are reproduced. I can't remember the prices, but usually anything like this is $100. So we'll go ahead and do that. It might. Have you take a look at. We'll take a look at this mechanism because that doesn't seem to be tight enough. We'll figure that out once we take the back up. But I'm going to work just with the bottom for now. Alright, so the bottom still has hardware that has to come off. It's just Phillips screwdriver for these. And I'll put these in a separate bag. Now these bolts, these are in here. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of WD-40. I should have penetrating oil, but I don't know what happened to my can, so we'll see how easy. They should come out pretty easy. They're not the cheaper bolts. Maybe 1/2 inch. Nope. 9/16. Oh yeah, they're gonna come right off. A little tight. We'll take care of that as well. Regular bolt. And reality is you can use these to help tighten these a little bit. Now that's pretty, look at that. That looks like, it looks like, because this is, so this may have very well been factory. Nope. Just crunched down real hard. I thought maybe for a minute we had a cutout here, but that wouldn't be a good idea. Alright, one more place I could rip. So here we go. We're going to start taking the... Let me put these in a bag before I get all excited and forget. Nothing more fun than car demo. Alright, so I got all my things in bags, all the hardware from the bottom. Now let's see what the condition of all this stuff is. Looks like they did some sort of adhesive here maybe. I'll probably reproduce that just a little bit, help hold it in place. Maybe not. We'll see. See a little bit of surface rust. Nothing to worry about. pulling this off. Oops. Start pulling this off, you can see the seams. And in a minute you'll see, similar to what you saw on when we did the backside. Now this was all just tucked. It was not hog-nosed. So that's probably not from the factory, but you know, it's just hard to tell. That's handy. I wish that was on the new set, but it's not. So off comes the old one. Bottom's still in pretty good shape. And the reality is, this cushion still has a lot of life back into it, left in it, but I'm not going to keep it. The driver's side is really bad, and you'll see that later on. Now we'll take a quick look at the springs here. Maybe. So this is all pulled tight. And I think we're going to find that it's hog-nosed. So in this seam, and I showed you that in the last, in this seam, you stick your hog-nosed pliers in and you put it along the seam. So we're going to have to undo those. So I need to move the camera so you can see better. We'll do that now. Hi, Mom. She doesn't watch. It's my wife's Lexus behind us. I like that car. It's got a lot of stuff. All right, that's kind of a weird angle, but I'm gonna keep you there. So hog nose. We're gonna get those apart, and then we'll be able to release the seams.